And we'll continue to talk some soccer here on GCR. Joining us now, he is the author of the new book, The Messi Effect. Picked a good day to make this appearance and to have this conversation. He covers soccer for The Athletic. He's Paul Tenorio. Paul, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you. So tell me exactly how the arrival of Lionel Messi in America has led to the fact that the United States is now going to win the World Cup.
It does feel that way, doesn't it? Look, I think the reality is that Messi's arrival in America timed up with this unprecedented moment in time for the sport here, where you have, the world's game coming summer after summer. After Messi arrived was the Copa America in 24, the FIFA Club World Cup in 25, now the World Cup in 26. And it also is a chance to showcase how far the game has come here since 1994. And the U.S. team is evidence of that, right? You have this golden generation, quote unquote, of American soccer with these players who kind of came up as the, early generation of players in the MLS academies, sold overseas, go to Europe younger than ever and build their careers there. And now they're finding success in this World Cup as well. It's all linked. It's all connected. And, that's really what this book is about is the fact that all of, I want people to understand what led to this moment, where American soccer is now, all of the things that contributed to its growth to this point, and then where it's going from here and the factors that will influence its growth going forward. And Messi's found himself at the center of it when he signed with Inter Miami.
Paul, I acknowledge that Messi has proven to be significantly different than even some of the other legends of the sport that arrived in MLS. And I used to do play-by-play in MLS, and I got to call Thierry Henry and David Villa and guys like that. And I know Messi was definitely far more in his prime, as we still see clearly to this moment with him breaking the World Cup record yesterday. That said, I feel like there's been an argument that he has still kind of existed in a vacuum in the US, where whether it's because of the TV deal with Apple, that Messi is still significant, but it hasn't really risen MLS. What do you make of the actual impact of Messi on the league itself beyond just when he plays, like we saw earlier this year in Baltimore when they played DC United here, that it matters because he's there, not necessarily because he's rising the entire league?
That's right. I mean, that is the book. The book is about how do you take this messy moment, this commercial spike, and turn it into something that is lasting, to make it so that Major League Soccer has a moment where it can look back and say, this is how Messi changed the league. And it's in much the way David Beckham did, right? When David Beckham arrived back in 2007, it was the creation of the designated player rule, the David Beckham rule, that really was the biggest influence of Beckham's time in Major League Soccer. Not the two championships he won with the Galaxy, not the stadiums he sold out around the country. It was the creation of this rule that allowed Thierry Henry and David Villa and Kaká and eventually Messi to come to this league. So what is the impact going to be for Messi? We're not going to talk 20 years down the line about the stadiums that he sold out across the league, or the number one best-selling jersey in the world for Adidas, or the valuations for Inter Miami, or the trophies he won as his lasting legacy. And this book goes into the boardrooms of Major League Soccer and shows the debate and the dynamics of the debate that these billionaire owners are having in Major League Soccer about how to properly leverage this, how to take advantage of it. And the reality is they haven't done a good job of
Yeah.
it. The fact that we're coming out of the World Cup in 2026 without these changes happening now, when they have an opportunity to capitalize and they have the greatest advertisement for the sport that they could possibly have, was a failure of leadership in Major League Soccer. But, they are changing the calendar. They are going to change the roster rules. They are going to change the competition structure of the league. So within 5 years of Messi's arrival, the fact that MLS will have a new calendar, a new competition structure, and hopefully new roster rules that allow the league to compete on the global stage in a bigger way, that's one heck of a legacy. But MLS still needs to get it across the line, and we still have to acknowledge that they didn't get it done in time to fully leverage this Messi moment.
He is Paul Tenorio. Again, the book is The Messi Effect. We will link it up on our Twitter account at Glenn Clark Radio for you to check it out. Paul, I reference, and you reference some of the others like David Beckham and obviously Henry. But when I ask the question, what makes Messi different, is the answer simply he's just the literally? I hate the GOAT thing, I really do. But is the argument that we have? It has been proven that he truly is the greatest player of all. Like it is remarkable to me that when we kind of wrote off Argentina a little bit and wrote off Messi a bit coming into this World Cup, he's kind of reminded everybody, oh no, I'm still Lionel Messi. Is he definitively, making this point that he might be the single greatest player of all time?
Absolutely. I mean, that is the difference. You nailed it. What is the difference between every designated player that's ever come to Major League Soccer and Messi? Is that he's not comparable to the players, his contemporaries, right? When we talk about Messi, the comp is Pelé. The comp is Maradona, the greatest of all time, right? That's who he's competing against. And he is now definitively the greatest of all time, and he's showing it. When he came to Miami, what was the word? The word was, okay, that's it. He's off the major stage of professional soccer. He's going to a lesser league. He did it at the top, at his peak, winning the World Cup in Qatar. Farewell, see you later. You're not relevant anymore internationally. And boy, has he just ripped that argument to shreds.
Yep.
The top goal scorer in South American qualifying for Argentina going into the World Cup, 5 goals in his first 2 games in this World Cup. And it shows, it wasn't a surprise to me reporting this book, but when you talk to people around Inter Miami, when he arrived and through these first 3 years, his competitiveness, his mentality is what makes him so great in addition to his supernatural skills, right? And he wanted to prove a point, and he spent years in Major League Soccer preparing for this moment. We had a story come out in The Athletic. This part's not in the book, and maybe it will be if I have a paperback edition or something like that. But in the lead up to this tournament, he spent time, working extra to make sure that he was ready, not just to be a part of this World Cup. He doesn't want to just be a guy on Argentina's team, but to be Messi. And look at what he's done. I mean, it's like I try to compare it maybe to like Tom Brady going to the Bucks and winning another Super Bowl, just to show people that he's the greatest. That if you want to ask what the secret sauce is in the Patriots, it was Tom Brady. And Messi goes to MLS and comes back into the World Cup and shows, I'm still Messi.
Yeah.
And that's what this summer has been about.
No, it's breathtaking, man. I mean, it's really incredible to watch. Paul, I allude to the United States is going to win the World Cup. Are we getting look? We like Maryland football around here. They go 4-0 in non-conference play every year, and then they can't win a league game. Are we getting too excited about their performances? Appropriately excited, or is there a chance that like we're maybe still not even that we're being too cynical and not taking it seriously enough how well they've played?
I think there's multiple correct answers here.
Okay.
First of all, I think we should be this excited, and fans should embrace this moment and have fun and enjoy it, because it is fun. They're playing good soccer. They're playing attacking soccer. They're winning games. The crowds are incredible. The vibes are great. Enjoy it. Like, this is fun. This is awesome. And it's unprecedented, right? The first time they've won back-to-back group stage games since 1930, and the World Cup looked a lot different a century ago. So absolutely embrace it and enjoy it. That being said, when we talk about winning a World Cup and you look at the way the bracket's falling right now, in order to win a World Cup, the U.S. would have to get through from the quarterfinal round forward, Spain, France, and then Argentina or England. Okay. So those are the very best teams in the world. So right now, the focus, just live in the moment and enjoy it and expect them and say, I believe that they can win the round of 32 game for sure. They can win the round of 16 game. They can get to a quarterfinal. And then we'll cross that bridge when we get there of playing the very best teams in the world. Have fun with this, enjoy it. And also let's also acknowledge, yes, this does mean that soccer is growing and improving here. It does show that, these young American players were scouted early on, bought by teams in Europe at earlier ages than ever before, developed there. And that's going to continue to happen and evolve as long as these MLS owners make the right decisions that I outline in the book. There's a chance that they can get even better. So, it's all stuff to be excited and happy about. But yeah, when we talk about winning a World Cup, just a different level to that.
I want to wrap with this if I could because it's selfish. Alex Freeman is a Baltimore native. I've known his father for most of my adult life. He's a Baltimore legend, and I didn't see this. I've gotten to know Alex the last few years. I didn't see this coming right over the course of the last 12 months. What happened on Friday was awesome, him scoring a goal, but in general, how impressive has he been? And given that he's 21, how significant of a part of the future of American soccer is Alex Freeman?
An incredible run to go from making your Major League Soccer debut, just more than a year ago, to your national team debut last May, to scoring a goal in the World Cup. Just a rapid ascent after a very slow and steady rise, right? It's all of a sudden there's this spike. His ability, his athleticism, his ability to read the game, to understand when to go forward and when not is wonderful. He's now playing at a high level in Spain. He has more room to grow. Pochettino thinks he can be one of the best right backs in the world, he said. So we're seeing the beginnings of it, and hopefully he can continue to grow. That's the most important part. That's what we saw with Pulisic and McKennie. They kept getting better. That's Alex Freeman's job now, is to keep getting better in Spain and to see how good he can be, how far he can take it.
At Paul Tenorio is how you follow him. The Messi Effect is available now. Paul, thank you for taking the time for us. Enjoy the rest of the World Cup.
Thanks so much for having me.